Morning, lovelies. I hope you're all well. We just had the craziest rain here in Brighton. It's been mad this morning. Just managed to get to the studio without getting soaking wet. So this morning I wanted to talk about ℚℍℍ𝕋 and whether I make the experience happen for somebody. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I've had this question a few times recently in my consultations, and people have been saying to me, do you make it happen? Do you make the past lives come up? Do you choose what I'm going to see? And the answer is simply no. I have no idea what somebody is going to experience when they're under. So the first part of this I'm going to talk about is, what if you have an intention of visiting a past life? Maybe you've seen a past life in meditation, maybe you've had flashbacks of past lives in dreams. Then is it possible to go back and explore those past lives that you've had kind of snippets of before? If you have the intention, can you do it? And the answer is often. I never say for sure. ℚℍℍ𝕋 is not predictable, and the reason I say it's not predictable is because the energy that we work with in a ℚℍℍ𝕋 session is the higher self energy, the oversoul, what Dolores ℚℍℍ𝕋 calls the subconscious. And therefore, what comes up when a client is under, when they're experiencing the relaxation phase, the hypnosis phase, will be for their highest good. It will be experiences that the higher self, the subconscious, has chosen as priority, if you like, because the subconscious, the higher self, always knows exactly why somebody's come to a ℚℍℍ𝕋 session. Even if the person doesn't know themselves, their higher self will know, because that's the part of them that has all the answers. So if there is an intention of going back and exploring a particular past life, then the chances are, when that person is under, that is where they will go, but only if it's for their highest good. If there are perhaps past life memories that a person needs to go back and explore, because they hold more information, because they hold more wisdom, perhaps the person needs to be released from the effects of trauma around these past lives, then the higher self basically picks the priority lives that a person needs to experience, because they know it's for their greater good. So in answer to that question, yes, if the intention is there, it can often happen, but I never say for sure, because I don't know for sure. And with regard to, do I make those past life memories happen? No. Again, exactly as I've said, the past life memories that come up are ones that I work with and I direct my client through as and when we start to explore them. So when I drop a person into a space, wherever they go first, I don't know where that's going to be, I just work with that. And I'll ask them, what can they see around them? Once they're orientated in the space, what does the body look like? What does the body feel like? You know, does it feel healthy? Does it feel young? Does it feel old? And then we explore the life that they've been dropped into. And I know it's the right life for them to be dropped into because they've gone there. And never ever have to question whether where somebody goes is right for them. That's kind of not my job. It's not my job to determine whether something's right or wrong. I know it's right because the person's gone there and the higher self has chosen that particular life for somebody to explore because it has meaning. You know, maybe it's a past life where they need to understand they had particular gifts which are useful for them to use in this life. Maybe there were lessons in that particular life that the person is re-experiencing now because they didn't see the value in the lessons that time around. So the higher self is saying, look, these are lessons that you're living again now. You need to understand them. We don't want you to have to go through this again. And I just said we there because I understand the higher self. The oversoul is connected consciousness. We're all one. And therefore, I always understand the higher self and the subconscious to be a we. That may not be everyone's understanding, but it's certainly for me in the 𝔽𝔸ℂ𝕋 sessions that I've personally experienced, my higher self has always come through as a collective. They always say we. It's always been the way for me. And actually it's quite unusual, which is why I've just remembered to say that. I very rarely get clients in their 𝔽𝔸ℂ𝕋 sessions that speak from a place of we when they're with the subconscious, which is fine, it doesn't matter. It's just that's my experience. So in answer to the question, no, I don't make it happen. I can't predict what's going to happen in the regression. Often I have a sense of what somebody is going to experience just because I often have a sense of what it is that they perhaps need to journey through in order to get the answers they're looking for. And what I mean by that is a lady came to me recently who was terrified of dying. She'd had a lot of loss in her life and death was something she was really fearful of. So I had a sense that when we worked in the hypnosis, the chances are that she would get to see the death process probably more than once. And I had a sense that she'd probably go over to the other side. She'd probably transition further than most people do to get the sense of peace, to move towards the light, to have that feeling that there isn't anything to be afraid of. So I suppose if I feel into that idea, then I can often get a sense of what somebody is going to experience, but quite often I'm wrong, you know, I never can be sure. So really it's about coming to the 𝔽𝔸ℂ𝕋 session with intention, of course, with perhaps a focus, but also letting go of the expectation of what you might experience when you're under. And that's important, you know, let go of the expectation and just go with it. Surrender to the idea that you're going to get what you need. And I also just wanted to say about the experience itself, because I get asked this a lot. People say to me, is it visual? Will I get to see past lives? And I always say, for the most part, for most people, it is a visual experience. For me, it's always been very visual, but then I'm a visual person. It's not like watching a TV show. It's not like watching the movies. It's not external. It's not on the outside of you. It's inside your mind. It's an internal experience. So from that point of view, it's in here. And so it is visual. It's like dreaming while you're awake. Sometimes it's a little bit fuzzy. Sometimes it's incredibly clear. But what I will say is that there's always a knowing attached to what you get to experience. So a person will always speak from the point of view of I am in this space. I am wearing these clothes. I've got these bird's feet. I've got these wings. Whatever it is, it's always I. Because they're soul memories. You know, they're not somebody else's memories, they're your memories when you come to see me. So I hope that answers a few questions. It's always hard to explain what these experiences are like until you've kind of gone through it. So if you want to know more, if this is exciting for you, if something is kind of like nudging you right now or saying, yeah, you need to check this out, then give me a call, contact me and we'll chat about it. Sending you lots of love as always.